hell if I know. I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
You know what? I think we're doing the podcast.
It's a show by Chris and Neil with all great movies. They are the real deal. We watch them all, so you don't have to. It's movies that don't suck and some that do.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all ages, it is a new, exciting episode of Movies That Don't Suck and Some That Do. I am Neil.
And I'm exciting, Chris.
Yes, we're excited. We're joyful. We're both about to do some really cool shit in our lives.
Yeah.
Like Chris is about to take off and join the New Zealand tribes. I'm about to be front row at a pro wrestling event tomorrow.
We're excited.
That's why we're here on a different day, but you wouldn't know that if you're just listening to the podcast. If you're just listening to the podcast, you don't know what day it is. You don't care what day it is. You could give two shits. You're like, Neil, shut up. Introduce the movies that you'll be covering today. First, we'll be covering the movie called Suncoast, featuring one of my favorites of all time, the man who made everybody think everybody from Indiana is completely dumb and ignorant, Woody Harrelson.
I'd do anything to catch the guy who did it, Mrs. Hayes, but when the DNA don't match no one who's ever been arrested, and when the DNA don't match any other crime nationwide, and when there wasn't a single eyewitness from the time she left your house to the time we found her, well, right now, there ain't too much more we can do.
Could pull blood from every man and boy in this town over the age of 8.
Their civil rights laws prevents that, Mrs. Hayes. And what if he was just passing through town?
Pull blood from every man in the country then.
And what if he was just passing through the country?
If it was me, I'd start up a database. Every male baby was born, stick him on it. And as soon as he'd done something wrong, cross-reference it, make 100% certain it was a correct match, then kill him.
Yeah, well, there's definitely civil rights laws prevents that.
That's some 3 words outside Ebbing, Missouri. He's actually talking to Frances McDormand, another great actress, but not in any movies we watched this week.
And that is one of the best movies that she was ever in, called 3 Billboards Outside of
Ebbing, Missouri.
Ebbing, Missouri. Okay, I always forget what the city's name is.
Okay.
I know it's Missouri, but I always forget what the name of the city is in the line. Also in this movie, the wonderful Laura Linney.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
I've tasted other cocos. This is the best.
What the hell does this have to do with anything? Tell me what's happening!
Well, you're having a nervous breakdown. That's what's happening.
You're part of this, aren't you?
Woman!
Meryl!
You are scaring me!
No, you're scaring me, Meryl. What are you gonna do? Dice me? Slice me or peel me? There's so many choices!
No! Do something!
That's from The Truman Show.
The Truman Show, one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies of all time. Like, besides his crazy, wacky, fun characters, that is like one of my favorite dramas that he ever did. I think it'd be between that, Man on the Moon, and Eternal
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah, I think those are the 3 top.
My easily favorite Jim Carrey drama role is Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, that's a good one. But I don't know. Andy Kaufman has a place right here for me. Also, the main actress of this movie, I found a rule. I think I found something of her, but you couldn't find many things because she hasn't done much.
Yeah. Found a good one, though.
Yeah. The young actress known as Nico Parker.
Lane.
Yeah, I know. Where'd you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
It's better when I do.
It was only $20, which I stole from you. I could have stolen $60, but I put the change back because I'm an honest thief. Besides, it's the thought that counts. And you were never going to do it for yourself, so...
Thank you.
Oh, there's one more. Borrowed from the Adlers.
Oh, this is the one with the deleted scenes.
Yeah, imagine how bad those have to be. Come on, pop it in. Let's do your birthday.
That's from The Last of Us. With the first episode of The Last of Us.
The Last of Us, yes.
God damn.
That with Mr. Pedro Pascal, one of the best fucking actors that we have on the planet Earth right now.
Yep, right now.
Period. Right now at this time. I mean, that's all you got to say about that.
Yeah.
All right, so that will be the movie Suncoast. We'll be reviewing that. That will be the first movie that we'll go over. And then the movie everybody can't seem to shut up about this past week will be the next one that we review tonight. The second movie will be called Madam Web, featuring none other than Dakota Johnson.
Why do you want to punish me?
Anna.
Why do you want to hurt me?
I would never do anything to you that you couldn't handle.
But why do you even want to do anything to me at all, Christian?
If I told you, you'd never look at me the same way again.
So there is a reason. Tell me. Do you want to punish me right now?
Yes. I want to punish you right now.
Yes.
What if I told you that I feel the same way about being punished as you do about me touching you? Would you still want to punish me then?
No. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't need to.
Why?
Anna, stop.
Why do you need to?
Because it's the way I am!
That's from Neil's favorite movie, 50 Shades of Grey.
No. Mine's 50 Shades Darker. Yours is 50 Shades of Grey. You mix them up, man. You mix them up.
Sorry.
50 Shades Darker is my go-to.
Yeah, okay.
Also in this movie, Isabella Merced.
Excuse me? Hi. Hey. Hi. Just, FYI, we can all hear you. Dipped in shit, masturbate, so forth. We appreciate the concern, but there's really no need to go pity crazy, we know how this works. So just go on. It's okay. Go mingle with the kitties and don't give it another thought, okay? Have a good day, folks.
That's from Instant Family.
Instant Family with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. Yeah. Nothing wrong with Marky Mark. Also in this movie is Celeste O'Connor.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
Honestly, my mom won't say it, but we're broke. We just got evicted, and the only thing that's left in our name is this creepy old farmhouse our grandfather left us in the middle of nowhere. No offense.
I'm not offended. This place is dumb.
Then why do you live here?
I'm fourth generation dumb. So. Get out!
What is that?
I don't know.
That's from Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's why I grabbed it, because Ghostbusters Frozen Eternity or whatever it's called.
Frozen Empire.
Soon. I can't wait.
Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire. There we go.
Yeah, it was good.
And last but not least,
we got two more, dude.
Huh?
We got two more.
We got two more.
Yeah.
Who's the other one I got? Oh, the one and the only, a man that makes me laugh every single time, Mr. Adam Scott.
Data had never felt this way before. Of course, Data had never felt anything before. But Captain Picard couldn't help but note the smile that crept over his mechanical but lifelike face.
I'm gonna murder you.
I understand. Just 1 second. As they walked down the hall into the bridge.
Yeah, that's from Parks and Rec, the episode where they are stuck in the parking garage in D.C. trying to get
and he starts reading his Star Trek.
Yeah, you're missing one actress, dude, and I can't believe you missed this one.
No, I didn't miss her. I kept her for the end. She was originally going to go last because it's everybody's favorite internet girlfriend, Miss Sydney Sweeney.
Oh my god, do I look like I'm in Oklahoma?
Why would your play be set in Oklahoma?
You thought I was auditioning for Oklahoma.
I haven't read it. So.
Are you making fun of me, or did you actually think I was auditioning for Oklahoma?
Why the fuck would you audition for Oklahoma?
I'm not!
Then why the fuck do you look like you're auditioning for Oklahoma?
Do I?
Yes.
Has everyone read Oklahoma but me?
Oklahoma wasn't like a play you read.
Bro, are you on drugs?
Yes.
You relapsed?
I've just been smoking a little bit of weed.
Wait, I don't understand. If you're not auditioning for Oklahoma, then why do you look like that?
Like what?
Like a country music star.
In a good way or a bad way?
Bitch, you better be joking. Are you okay, Kat?
No! Yes! Fuck it! I am in love with Nate Jacobs and he is in love with me and you know you fucking give me that look, Maddie, because I didn't fuck your boyfriend. You two were broken up for 3 weeks and 3 days before we even had sex, so I didn't betray you. Plus, you guys are terrible for each other and you know I'm right and you guys can all judge me if you want, but I do not care. I have never, ever been happier.
That's from Euphoria.
Euphoria, one of the greatest shows of all time. And so that's the cast of Madam Web. There are more. We'll talk about that in a little while. That's going to be a great conversation. It is a comic book movie, so we are going to have a little spoiler section at the end.
Yeah, that's the guys. Just every comic book movie we're gonna have a little spoiler section because Neil's dig up Easter eggs. But no matter.
I love the Easter eggs when it comes to comic book movies because I'm a comic book movie junkie. If you were just watching the vlog, you would know this whole wall of comic book and geekiness behind me, not including the rest of my house, which you can't see. But I think this is a good representation. You got the wrestling, you got Another Name, you got the Marvels right there, and then we got Marvel, and then some DC, and then there's some Marvel. Oh, there's DC. Oh, there's Sting. Oh no, that's the Crow.
Okay.
But anyway, Chris, tell everybody where they can find us.
You can find us on moviesdon'tsuck.net. We're w2mnet.com. It's W2 moviesnet.com. You'll find us there along with a bunch of other cool podcasts. We're also on X at MTS Podcast. We're on Instagram at MTS Podcast. We're at Patreon, patreon.com/moviesdon'tsuck. If you guys want to buy shirts, Neil made a couple new ones this past week. Go to Bonfire Cards.
Oh, I got a new one right now. Boom! Just made it today.
Okay. All right, is 918? That's the Tulsa area code.
Yeah, okay. Wake and Bake and 918 because 918 is also my birthday.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You go to Bonfire Cards, Movies Don't Suck and Something to Do. You'll find us there, and everywhere you find podcasts, find Movies That Don't Suck and Something to Do. Can you tell I've had laryngitis this weekend?
You have laryngitis? I don't think you have the laryngitis.
I did Saturday.
I think your tonsils are just a little swollen from all because you go to the orgies on the weekends and it's Tuesday and you didn't have until Thursday to heal up. So when you're at the orgies all weekend long, you get your throat swells up on the glands.
Who we talking today?
Yeah. Hey, Chris, have you ever had one of those days where you wake up, everything sucks and everybody's fucked, and you just want to realize that you want to capitalize by ripping someone's head off? No human contact, and you're out of whack, and your life on. So your best bet is to stay away,
motherfucker.
It's just one of them days.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm talking about the Smash Room. Yes, the Smash Room. It's where you go to break stuff. Are you mad and you just want to beat some stuff up with an axe, a baseball bat, a sledgehammer, and do it in privacy so you don't get arrested for it? That's why you go to the Smash Room. Now, the Smash Room has all kinds of, if you buy any room package during the week of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, you get 10% off your total purchase. There are date night packages where you get 30 minutes with your favorite date smashing some stuff. There are small party packages, includes 3 groups of breakable items that you could choose in 30 minutes. The medium party pack where it's 4 groups of breakable things in 30 minutes. You got the big party pack where it's 5 groups, and then pay for what you break where you just go into the room and just keep breaking, and at the end of it, you just pay for whatever you broke up. It is one of the most fun ways to get out that negative energy we have in this life. So please run, don't walk to the Smash Room. You can find the Smash Room Tulsa at thesmashroomtulsa.com, physically located at 9940 East 21st Street, or you can go to the website at thesmashroomtulsa.com. And remember, guys, if you can't come down to Tulsa, they have them literally Smash Rooms everywhere.
Yep.
You need to get some aggression out. Look it up. Literally, it is I can't even tell you how. What's the word I'm looking for?
Cathartic.
Cathartic. There we go. Cathartic. It is. It is very cathartic.
So how much when you were a young teenager, mid teenager, or even young, did you just go out and find stuff to break?
Man, I blew up a lot of things when I was a kid. I'm not gonna lie. We blew up things. We broke things. I had one friend that was really good that had a whole. His dad's little trailer was in the end of town, and we could just go there and break stuff constantly.
Yeah, that's fun.
We blew up a bus once. Like we shot a grenade launcher into it and just bam. Like so. Like I mean. You know, good innocent fun that you have in the good cornfields of Indiana.
Yeah, there's still broken stuff in my garage that my friends would break, and it was cathartic at the time. But now I'm a grown ass man. I don't think I'd rather go to a break room. I think, but
no. I mean, we could go into your garage right now, and I can find a few things I can break.
Please don't. Guys, so let's talk about Suncoast, right? Suncoast. Directed and written by Laura Chen. Laura Chen has done things. She did stuff like Grey's Anatomy. She's mostly an actress, but she wrote Suncoast and directed it. This stars Nico Parker as Doris.
Durlane.
Yeah, I know. Where'd you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Also, Laura Linney is Christine, the mother of Nico.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink?
Also, Woody Harrelson plays Paul Warren.
I'd do anything to catch the guy who did it, Mrs. Hayes, but when the DNA don't match no one who's ever been arrested, and when the DNA don't match any other crime nationwide, and when there wasn't a single eyewitness from the time she left your house to the time we found her, well, right now, there ain't too much more we can do.
Also starred Daniela Taylor. I'm sorry, that
man, you let that one run.
Well,
forever,
I wanted like a full sentence, But
it was a full. Yeah, go ahead.
It's because Daniela Taylor is Lacey, Ella Anderson is Brittany, Amar, just the single name Amar is Nate, Adel Martin is Megan Kaminsky, and Pam Doherty plays Sue. Neil, why don't you go ahead and read the story on it for Suncoast?
Suncoast, a local and lovely area where you can get your best DVDs, VHS.
That's a different place. This is actually the movie.
This is the movie. That's the play. Remember Suncoast? Whatever happened to those? Oh, they probably all went out of business because physical media is dead.
Yeah.
And now physical media is going to make a comeback because nobody wants to pay all these prices.
I mean, I actually have a Kindle, so physical media. I don't have that. All I have is that. It's the Kindles. That's somebody in the building.
I'm telling you right now, dude. These streaming wars.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, goddamn. Here we are.
I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Anyway. Suncoast, inspired by Chin's life experience from the early 2000s, follows a teenager played by Nico Parker, living with her strong-willed mother, who must take her brother to live in a specialized facility. There strikes up an unlikely friendship with an eccentric activist amidst protests surrounding one of the most landmark medical cases of all time.
So to be clear, this takes place in 2005. They're talking about Terry Schiavo. I remember that. Neil, what did you think about this thing? This movie on Hulu?
From the beginning, I could tell you exactly everything that was going to happen in this movie.
Right. I mean, it's one of those movies where
to the end, I could tell you what was going to happen.
Yeah.
To the end, I guessed it verbatim. My wife was sitting there watching it with me.
This plays with very familiar themes and beats, right?
Like very familiar, very something. But Nico Parker, Laura Linney, and Woody Harrelson knock it out of the fucking park.
They're really great.
Like Like even the teenagers that play the teenage friends and all that stuff, they played really well, especially when certain situations happen. Think of a girl and a guy that were arguing, and for some reason he came to a place they were at without ruining anything too much. I'm not trying to give specifics, but that whole scene was really good for like being teenagers and young people acting. It didn't seem too CW.
No, but
you know what I'm saying? And it didn't seem too Lifetime movie. It seemed like an actual good, heartfelt film.
And I'm thinking about like how crazy that 2005 is almost 20 years ago. But
I know.
But it seemed, I was thinking to myself, man, the 2000s were weird fucking times. You know, like,
oh my God,
where's the country, the whole still reeling from, the towers falling, and we have this thing going on, and it was
in 2005. What, I was getting over a divorce. I was on drugs and on the road with bands.
I just graduated high school. So
I forgot you're like 12 years old. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm 38 or 37. but no, man, like it's really it captures that time well, but it also shows. It also seems like a movie that was made in 2005, which is not necessarily what you want. Of course, as a period piece, you want to look like that, but you also don't look like that's made that way. I did like Nico Parker's character. Like I said, I thought the acting of the three main leads is great, and I thought the teenagers played really awful people that were great, because while her friends aren't necessarily the best friends, they were they were her friends, right? They
right. And I mean, let's be honest. I mean, in high school, who's really your friend? Who's your best friend? Do you even talk to a single person from high school?
No, no.
I think like one person, maybe two people from my high school.
They're your friends in high school for a reason, because that's who you're forced to be around. You know what I mean?
Well, I wasn't really. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Yeah, I mean, I did live in a small town, so we're all forced to kind of all be there and stuff like that. I just don't think anybody fucking likes me from back there at all.
I have some friends that I wish I'd kept in contact with, but that'd be weird for me to reach out to them, I think. You know?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
At this point, it would be weird. It'd be like, hey, man, sorry I haven't tried to contact you in 30 years.
Well, I mean, like, of course, I'll get like happy birthday on my Facebook friends from them or whatever. But like, yeah, I'd probably have maybe 4 people I'd still want to maybe reach out to after at that time in my life that, and of course, you got to reach out to people. If someone passes, you have to let them know, hey, I know we haven't spoken in 10 years, but I found this person passed, and I don't know if anyone told you, sort of. So it's
yeah. But anyway, back to the movie. Woody Harrelson played a great role. He was a great mentor.
He's
in this
so
film.
fucking good in anything. He's good. It's ridiculous how good he is.
No, I can point a couple out that he wasn't so great in.
Like what?
Do you really want me to do a deep dive on Woody Harrelson?
No, that's fine.
Is that what you want me to do?
No, it's fine.
You're like, let's do a deep dive on Woody Harrelson. Okay. Let's see. He wasn't good in, and let's see. Let's see.
See, this is hard.
Lost in London. I wasn't a fan of.
Okay.
Let's see. Defender. I wasn't a fan of. Surfer Dude was kind of dumb. Scorched. I wasn't a big fan of Scorched.
All right, man. I get
Like the Dog. Do you want me to keep going? I can go through more stuff. He's got stuff all the way back to the 80s.
But here we go. He's a good actor in this.
Yeah, he's a good actor in this. And so anyway, Nico Parker plays a good job. Laura Linney, I mean, when does she not knock it out of the park? Too?
She's so good.
Those are two really good actors to have. To be around you, and even if Nico Parker would have called it in, it would have been okay movie. But the thing is, she didn't call it in. She played her part to a T. She was very much a distorted, poor little kid that felt like the world was against her. And
takes place in Florida. I should mention that it takes place in Florida, because
Yeah, it takes place in Florida. That's where the Suncoast, and it did take place. I mean, looking up the real information about this movie, the lady, did in fact was there with the Terry, Pucciano incident, which is one of the most historic little medical. You know what the whole thing was, right?
Yeah. But I think that they did a really good thing is that the movie didn't really take a stance on it. They just let you know that it's hard to know, which is
it's going on right there. Yeah. There it is, it's right over here. Yeah.
So there's no movie. This movie didn't really take a stance on what happened to Terry Schiavo. A lot of people had ideas with their thoughts on it, but this movie it takes you that time, and it's
because they're playing the music from that time. They're acting like it's that time. We'll talk about a little bit later about another movie that tries to make you think it's around that time.
Same time.
They're playing music. But I mean, they even talk about Brad and Jennifer separated. Yeah. I can't believe it. Which the divorce didn't happen until October. This was supposedly happen in January, but I don't know when they announced their separation. So,
yeah, they're like, these just two handsome. There's been handsome ones ever stay. But Suncoast. It's on Hulu. It's a little movie. And it was fine. It didn't blow my socks off, but it was.
It's one of those happy feel-good movies. It's one of those ones that you take a watch at. You like it. You're gonna get a little emotional at the end, but at the end, everything works out.
It squeezed a tear out of me. This one, it's a depiction of grief, really. And coming to terms with that sort of thing. And at the end, you're getting a little bit of ray of sunshine at the end. But get ready to cry a little bit if you want to.
Cry right in the bumhole.
So I'm gonna give my score on this because we have lots to say about a different movie. So my score on this is like a 3.5, 3.6. It wasn't terrible. I enjoyed it, but it did knock my socks off. But it's the first movie I saw on Hulu recently that didn't feel like it was made in the pandemic.
Right. And it was one of those movies again. It just felt good. It felt like people were like, yeah, and then you're like, yeah, and then you're like, yeah, and you're like, yeah, and then people are like, okay, man, I'm trying to figure out what I'd give this thing. I have to give it a 3.7.
Okay, all right.
3.7. I think it was good enough in the acting way.
Yeah, the acting was fantastic.
With the acting was fantastic. The story was you kind of knew where the story was going because this is, unfortunate. As soon as you see some of the stuff that's going on, you're kind of like, yeah, that's the way this movie's going to go.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop me from the journey, and it wouldn't stop me from the journey again. If I went to someone's house and this was on the TV, I wouldn't be like, okay, fuck you, I'm leaving. Like, you'd be like, I can sit and hang out with you while you finish this and we can go do something. But it seriously, it does have a great story.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on RetTomatoes.com, Neil. What is the audience score for Suncoast?
The audience score is going to be 63%.
85%.
God damn, I was way off on that one.
All right, Neil, what's the Big Bang critic score for Suncoast on RetTomatoes.com?
58%.
76%.
Damn, they're both high.
Yeah, Chris's consensus is a well-acted depiction of grief and self-discovery. Suncoast often overcomes the reliance on broad coming-of-age tropes, the light touch, and a charming ensemble cast. I'll read a better review, negative review. This is from Abhishek Shrestha, Times of India. Says, while the film endeavors to leave an impression on its audience, the narration falters, limiting its potential as a strong film. The final run, the impact of the film was rather mild. Okay, whatever. And this one's from Robert Levin of Newsday. He says, it's a compelling drama that relies on strong performances and an understated approach. And Neil and I agree that it has strong performances because it does. And that's Suncoast. You guys can find that on Hulu.
Find it on Hulu. That's where you can find it. That's where you can go and be like, this is a movie I want to look up. Suncoast! Hulu! Take me to Suncoast! And Hulu will be like, did you say burnt toast? No, I said Suncoast! Did you say Derby Dosed? No! I said Suncoast.
Did you say Sunkissed? No!
No!
I said Suncoast.
Did you say Sunburst? No!
But I did say? I say it's time for news.
News. This is the Movie Zone Suck in Something News. I don't have a lot because we only did this 3 days ago, and so therefore I got a few things to say. Actually, a few things did happen since we've last met.
Okay.
Rob Reiner came out and told everybody about a wonderful movie called When Harry Met Sally, that it originally did not have a happy ending, that they broke up and they never saw each other again. Because he wanted it to reflect real relationships.
Well, no one wants that, man, right? Like, no one wants that, do they?
Nobody wants that. I don't even know why that he would tell people that now.
It's like J.K. Rowling saying that Harry Potter should end up with Hermione instead of Ron. Like, no one wants to hear that shit.
It's like, who cares, dude? You were the creator. You fucking did it. You're the best way. You could have fixed it and done it back then. So I don't even want to hear your mouth. I might mispronounce this. Nimona, which is nominated for animated feature for the Oscars, is released on YouTube, on regular YouTube. So you can go watch the entire film, fully feature. Has 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, 91% audience score. It is a Netflix full film. It's where you can go find it. So if you don't have Netflix right now, it is available completely on YouTube.
Yeah, an hour and 30 minutes long. So, yeah.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, and I mean, I love that category. It's overlooked a lot, but I don't think it should. Yeah.
Ewan McGregor debunks the dinosaur movie claims. The next movie he's doing has nothing to do with dinosaurs. And he doesn't know why everybody. I admitted this on 2 weeks ago that I reviewed this on our news segment where I was like, Ewan McGregor's next movie is about dinosaurs, and then we just moved right on. But it is not about dinosaurs, and he wants to make it very clear. Well, I don't know where they're getting dinosaurs from. That may or not be the case, but no, I like David Robert very much, the film director, and I like very much the idea of working with Anne Hathaway. I've got a feeling that I think the two of us as parents will be great, but I have nothing to do with dinosaurs that I know of at this moment.
I mean, but you and I know everything about when it comes to actors or directors or writers trying to quote rumors about stuff. Like example, for a while that they were saying that Wolverine was never coming back. Now where is he? He's the next Deadpool movie. Like, so it's sort of like, what can we trust?
Let's be honest. Wolverine wasn't coming back because Logan was the best Wolverine movie always.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was easy.
And he wasn't coming back until his best buddy him and Ryan Reynolds get to make a movie together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you not want to do that? How do you not want to be with your buddy Ryan Reynolds?
I mean, like every time it comes to your place, you kick me out.
That's only because as soon as you walk through the door, you strip naked. I have no idea what that's about. And then you're like looking for my puppy. Here, puppy.
Yeah.
With a jar of peanut butter. It's weird. Anyway, Ridley Scott has shown early footage of the new Gladiator sequel to standing ovations.
Hold on, man. It's just footage, though. It's not done yet.
I know.
You can't do that yet. You can't fucking do that.
I know. You can't say that because now we're going to expect too much.
So Ridley, being Ridley, he is a
test audiences doing test footage to his and people stand up and clap.
But Ridley is a big fan of Ridley. I heard this. He talked about his movies a lot on the Mark Manners podcast. So Mark would be like, let's talk about Gladiator. He's like, great film. He'd call his own movies great. It was ridiculous.
You know what's ridiculous?
What's that?
Ridley Scott is about to take over on a musical biopic.
What's the musical biopic? Who is it?
About one of the greatest, if not the greatest rock band, one of bands of all time.
Okay, who's it?
You can't tell by the way I use my walk.
The Bee Gees finally.
Ridley Scott will be directing. Barry Gibbs of the Bee Gees will be producing. If there's not drug and horrors in this fucking movie, I'm gonna call bullshit on it.
Yeah.
Just like the Bohemian Rhapsody, how all the guys weren't partying, just Freddie.
I know.
Whatever.
People really like that movie, but that's just because they like Queen. The movie is not the shit at all. Not even close to being the shit. So.
A new movie called The Astronaut will be coming out, featuring Kate Mara and Lawrence Fishburne. They'll be fighting the aliens. Fishburne portrays General William Harris, the sci-fi thriller in charge of the NASA facility where Sam is housed.
I like Kate Mara quite a bit, so.
And yeah, Kate is going to be playing a lady who she thinks she's from outer space.
Okay. All right.
I don't know where that's going, but hey, Coyote versus Acme is dead again.
Oh man, I really wanted to see that.
They filmed it, it's done, but they threw it back in the vault and said, nah.
It's in there with the Animaniacs, huh?
Yeah.
Man, like
Animaniacs is now a show. You can go watch that.
Okay. But the thing is about but like so they have it locked in there with Batgirl or whatever. Right? So like
yeah, no, right back in there with Batgirl. There we go. And it's just like,
I mean, I wanted to see that. You know, I think you did too. But
I really want to see that. Ridley Scott's Napoleon is going to be coming out on good old Apple TV March 1st.
It's gonna be like the 3-parter one, right?
Be the 4-hour version, or I don't give a fuck.
Dude, that's so long. And you know, like if you're a director and you want people to, I mean, like for a lot of people, like, well, I don't like Ridley's movies in the country. I like his director's cuts. I'm like, but dude, they're like 4 hours. You have to come into like chunks. You know, it's ridiculous. I don't think I'll see myself watching it again at all. You know.
Right.
It's long.
And it's a long fucking movie. And as I'd see it again if I knew that there's like an extra hour of just like of new stuff that I want to see one of the scenes that I don't think is complete with the extra footage to see if that completed that scene.
I could have used more battle footage, honestly. That's what I wanted to see.
That too. All right. So if I mispronounce this, sorry. But it is a made-up word. I believe it's the BAFTAs, BAFTA, which is the British Film and what is it? It's the British Academy of Film and Television Awards, which were this past week. And I could tell you who won, but seriously, do I need to tell you who won?
Who won?
It's the same people that's been winning everything.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Emma Stone won for lead actress. Cillian Murphy won for Oppenheimer. Did
Barbie get up there?
Christopher Nolan. Poor things. I don't know if Barbie has anything. I haven't seen anything Barbie. Poor things. I think Barbie was more of an American thing.
Okay, well that's true.
American fiction adapted screenplay. Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Casting for holdovers. That makes sense. It's literally every movie you think won. It's Poor Things. It's literally Poor Things, Oppenheimer, and that's it. And that's it.
The Zone of Interest won Best British Film, so I do mention that. I saw the Zone of Interest this week.
Yeah.
Neil tried to see it, but he's in Tulsa, so what are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah, we tried. Believe me, we tried.
Yeah.
Arrowverse writer and executive producer teases that a Superman series might be coming with Brandon Roth, a.k.a. if you don't know, that's the guy who plays Superman in Superman Returns.
That movie from 20 years ago?
Yeah. When Kevin Spacey was Lex Luthor and everything, it was a good. They had all the right actors. The problem was like the worst fucking script in the goddamn history. I mean, I have no idea what idiot over at Warner Brothers said. It'd be great. It'd be great. if we make a movie about Lex Luthor building real estate and the whole thing's made out of kryptonite and Superman flies the kryptonite island out of the thing and throws it into space because kryptonite doesn't affect him, even though in the movie kryptonite affects him.
I think what they're trying to use is they're trying to avoid the origin story part because everyone's seen that a million times over. So
no, I know exactly what they were trying to do, but they did it with like the worst story that had nothing to do with anything. Period.
But
there's like 105 stories in the comic books they could have told. They made up a dumb one where he had a son, and I don't understand any of it.
But you do like Brandon Routh though. Like you like that guy who played Superman, right?
Oh, Brandon Routh is awesome. He is the bomb diggity when it comes to Superman. Yeah. He makes my Superman go up in the no area.
Okay.
What? You can talk about things that are happy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't know it did that for you, but I mean, how do you feel? What would you say if they said Henry Cavill was going to be in that Superman movie, this television program?
That's cool. He can be another Superman.
Okay, all right, fine.
They're gonna base this one off of Kingdom Come.
Okay, all right.
So that's perfect for Brandon Roth.
Yeah.
All right. So if we recorded this on the normal day that we record this, we would already see it because it comes out tomorrow. But we haven't. So Chris, you get a poster, and that's it. Tomorrow is going to be the premiere trailer release of Borderlands.
Oh,
and here's the Borderlands poster.
Well, I watched that, like, during my layover. I watched that.
I'm going to watch it 100 times. Look at that. Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Kate Blanchett. Look at that.
Yeah, it's
like that looks amazing.
Yeah, is Handsome Jack in that photo?
I don't see a Handsome Jack anywhere, but who knows if that's what Kevin Hart's supposed to be. You never know.
All right.
You never know when it comes from adaptations. You never know. You never know.
Yep.
James Gunn just wants everybody to know that just like the comic books, there will be 3 Jokers in the DCU.
Okay. Oh, wow. Huh.
So, Joaquin Phoenix is one. Barry, the guy that sucked the bath water.
Barry Keoghan.
Barry Keoghan.
Barry
Keoghan. Yeah, those 2 already are formed. Those 2 are already formed, and then there'll be a third one that will be popping in with the DCU, just like the comic books 3.
So Jared Leto's still Joker.
Mm-hmm. No, not Jared Leto.
Oh, we're talking about
Joaquin.
Okay, yeah.
Different DCU.
Arthur Fleck. Yeah, okay. All right.
Bob Odenkirk describes his new movie Normal as a unique action idea with suspense and mystery elements, comparing it to the Bourne movies or M. Night Shyamalan or Alfred Hitchcock movies.
So he did Normal. What was that one where he was fighting people?
Nobody.
Now,
that was Nobody.
Now Ordinary or Normal.
And now this is Normal. That sequel.
Okay, all right, fair. I mean, that's not a sequel.
Talking about sequels. The sequel we've all been begging for 40 years might be happening. That's right. You wanted it for years, and better yet, how do you do it? How do you make the sequel? You wait till he's 60 years old, and then you get him back on the dance floor. They're talking about doing a sequel to the one and only Footloose.
We don't need another Footloose. I think we're good.
Yeah, they're just having an argument, but they all are kind of on board for it. Footloose turns 40. Lauren Singer has shared her sequel pitch that they would see her pick up the story with Kevin Bacon 4 decades later.
Now they pick up Kevin Bacon and his kid. That's what
that's what I'm saying. That's probably what it will be. Yeah. Probably be like her kid and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Talking about people stealing information, ideas from other people. Spider-Verse. Yay! Where's that? Spider-Verse. We're a fan of the Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah.
DC wants to create the Batman Beyond verse.
I know that you probably really want that. Right.
I don't know if I want that, because to be honest right now, DC's fucking everything up every time they do something. Well, and at the point, okay, if at this point in the comic book world and movies and stuff like that, if you're going to make something that's going to piss me off to the point where I feel like I should just leave the movie theater and not watch what I'm fucking going to watch, and me being a comic book fan who's had tattoos of comic books since I was like a teen, fuck you. Yeah. Like literally, I don't want it anymore. I don't want it anymore. So hey, I'm down if it's good.
I mean, like we haven't really given James Gunn the chance yet. You know, like let's see if Marvel puts out. But again, like it's a lot of people are getting super fatigued because you put out something like Matt Webb and like how many fucking superheroes are supposed to care about? You know, like, but you know, might be a problem in the future. We'll see.
Exactly. Wallace and Gromit, who's looking for a piece of cheese, Gromit, will be battling a huge robot gnome in the new Netflix movie coming out next year of Wallace and Gromit's Adventures. Sure, it's Wallace and Gromit. I'll look at it. I'll watch it. Disney has just made a deal with Sony, who will now control making the physical copies of the House of Mouse DVD and Blu-ray business. So now Sony will be in charge of making all their DVDs and
you mean that dying media? Yeah.
EC Comics, talking about someone else that's important to the history of everyone. EC Comics, do you know who EC Comics is?
No, what is EC Comics?
EC Comics did comics like Weird Fantasy, Weird Science, The Haunt of Fear, Mad, and also a little known one called Tales from the Crypt.
Right, okay.
EC Comics brand is being revived by Ona, who does Scott Pilgrim comic books.
Yeah.
And they're going to be bringing back those titles.
Oh, nice. I know you're excited.
They haven't been in circulation for like years and years. Oh, yeah. Like, but yeah, they're working on it, and that doesn't say exactly how long it's been since those titles have been out of date, but literally,
yeah, you'll probably start picking up Tales from the Crypt when they come out.
I love the old Tales from the Crypt comics, dude. I love the old series. I can never find
the one HBO.
You gotta buy it like $1.99. I'll download like a season at a time just to have it.
I'm just trying to figure out like if that stuff on DVD or anything like that.
It is on DVD. Yes, there is on DVD because you can go to like if you go to like vintage stock. But the thing is, I don't even have a DVD player.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
One of the biggest mysteries of all cinema time has finally been revealed this past week. Literally 12 hours ago. Are you ready for this, Chris?
Yeah.
Brian Henson, son of the legendary Jim Henson, one of the legendary puppeteers himself, has declared that you are not seeing things in Labyrinth. David Bowie's codpiece got bigger throughout the entire movie, and it was on purpose.
It's because why did it get bigger? You know, like.
Because for different scenes, it changes sizes by the scene where it's more relevant, I think. The scene where David pretends he's a beggar and then pulls off the costume and stands up, it's the Goblin King. And so there it was, right in front of you.
Yeah.
And that was his first scene that we shot. He goes, and then throughout, it got bigger throughout, making it just that it makes him look bigger and more of an overbearing person.
I mean, I can't say that I didn't look at everyone recognized the codpiece. They're like, that is something else. Like when you saw
No. Believe me, years ago, I was hanging out with some good gay buddies of mine.
And they all want to see what's in the
they went to full. We popped in Labyrinth while we were stoned, and man, they lost their virginities to that movie.
Yeah.
And that's great. I'm very happy for them. Last but not least, here it is. Announced just a few hours ago. All right. So, Sam Mendes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Neil Street Productions has sets to make theatrical movies of each person in a band.
Mm-hmm.
So each person in this band is going to get their own theatrical movie about their life and when they met up with the band and when they separated from the band. Can you guess the band?
Yeah, because I actually saw this news earlier. It's the Beatles.
The Beatles.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so
John, Paul, George, and Ringo all get their own separate movies about their lives that will all be coherent at some point.
So the gospel, they each get their own gospel. They each get their book in the gospel.
I mean, they have to. I mean, if there's any band that is there another band that even comes close to deserving that treatment?
No, and honestly, I'm glad they got Sam Mendes because he's a very talented director. So yeah.
And Mendes will direct all 4 films, and that marks the first time. So Apple's behind it. Apple's the one pushing for all of it, especially probably after the, Now and Then came out.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that documentary.
Yeah, dude, it's on all my playlists. Yeah. But he's already started talking to the families.
Is it theatrical?
He's got granted full life story and music rights for all the scripted films.
So is it going to be theatrical? Or is it going to be like something released on the Apple? That would make more sense to me. Like if you're going to do it on a stream platform, because I don't know, you can get people, if we go back to the theaters for 4 movies, you and I would do it. Okay.
So it says they are locking down writers right now. The date of the films will be close to each other, so you can go see them relatively close. And that's all they have right now. They want to do the theater and keep it in the theater, but they don't know matters when everything gets done and in order.
Okay.
So maybe they'll release Paul at the theater, and then Ringo's on the platform, or you go see John at the And George, even though he's one of the best guitar players in history, man. If you haven't listened to just George Harrison, if you haven't just listened to George Harrison music without the Beatles just fucking jamming, you're missing out in life.
Yeah.
I really think you are.
Yep.
But that's it. That's the news, buddy.
All right.
That's the news. Now, me and Chris are going to talk about, the lowest movie ever to box office for Marvel films.
All right, let's talk about it. We've been dying to talk about it. This is we're talking about Madam Web, directed by S.J. Clarkson. She's done things like Jessica Jones. She did 2 episodes of Jessica Jones. Were you feeling that? If you're a fan of that, dude, Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, the show? Yeah.
I know you liked it, right? So
I can't wait. Kristen Ritter is trying really hard to come back as that character. I just heard an interview with her with Michael Rosenbaum the other day.
I didn't mention that she also directed a unaired Games of Thrones prequel pilot, which will never come out, and we don't know why. But this is also written by her, Matt Sazma, Burke Sharpless, and there are like 5 different writers on this thing, which is not necessarily a good thing. Right, so
it's a bad thing.
Yeah. This stars Dakota Johnson as Cassandra Webb.
Why do you want to punish me?
Sydney Sweeney as Julia Cornwall.
Oh my God! Do I look like I'm in Oklahoma?
I love that. I'm sorry, I love that. Sorry,
Isabella Merced.
His name? Hi. Hey. Hi.
Celeste O'Connor as Maddie Franklin.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
Tahar Reno plays Ezekiel Sims. Micah Epps plays O'Neill. Emma Roberts plays Mary Parker. And Adam Scott plays Ben Parker.
Data had never felt this way before.
This also stars Zary Bish as Constance. Zosha Mamet of Girls Fame as Amaria. Jose Omar as Santiago. And Kathy Ann Hart as Susan. Neil, why don't you go read the storyline for Madam Web?
I can't wait. I haven't even looked at the storyline. I can't wait to see what the storyline is. All right, here we go.
Okay.
In a switch from a typical genre, Madam Web tells a standalone origin story, one of Marvel's publishing's most...
Enigmatic.
No, I know exactly what it says. Heroines. The suspense-driven thriller stars Dakota Johnson as Cassandra Webb, a paramedic in Manhattan who develops the power to see the future and realizes she can use that insight to change it. Forced to confront revelations about her past, she forges a relationship with 3 young women bound for powerful destinies if they can all survive a deadly present.
Yeah, I'm going to start out this one. But I want to say one thing first.
Whoa. I think I just figured something out, Beavis. What? This sucks.
All right. How do I start this off? Unlike the other movie, they overly played in this movie what year it was to make sure you knew what year it was. Like, oh, the new song by Britney Spears, Toxic, is out. You're toxic. All right. First things first. Everything about what it says this movie is about and the advertisement is a pure fucking lie. All right. They show all the girls in their Spider Women outfits. That is less than 5 minutes of the movie at most. At most is that. The most you see is this guy right here. This dude, what
not Spider-Man.
Not Spider-Man, because they didn't want to say Spider-Man because they didn't want to give Spider-Man a bad name. Originally in the comics, his name is Spider Totem, but the character that they use to make him isn't even the same guy, so I don't know what the fuck guy that was, and I don't know who the fuck that was. Here's another thing, all right? And not trying to spoil too much. I'm not going to really spoil too much here.
Oh, we'll talk shit about it later. Yeah, I see that.
See that? That's Madam Web.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's Madam Web. 1 second.
Oh, Neil's walking away from the desk to show me Madam Web.
Sorry, I thought my dog was
okay.
My dog was scratching against the door, but my wife just got home.
Okay.
But anyway, so she is supposed to be her, and I don't understand. Okay, one, I don't care if you had to take liberties with some of the characters. I don't. I really don't.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not upset that they took liberties with, you know, a superhero, but the thing is, the superhero they took liberties with, it really doesn't matter because she's never had a standalone comic.
Yeah.
She's never been like a really important character in the way. And they made it so it was like, okay, it's like the Gotham problem. You remember the show Gotham?
Yeah, you like that show, right?
Yeah, I like the show, but one of the major problems with it was that the dog would always bark right at the time when I'm trying to make a point. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, yeah.
Who let the dog out?
I think Lee is home, so yeah.
Stay with me now. Who let the dog out?
Yeah.
Look.
You...
Who let the dog out? Oh man,
okay.
Almost had it. Anyway, so anyway, I don't care that you take liberties, but this wasn't necessary. None of this was necessary. This is just Sony seeing that we all did comic book movies and we liked comic book movies, and they're making a story that makes no sense, just like Fox did with the X-Men. Like, there's a point. You know how many characters you have in the Spider-Man universe that you could go?
Not this one. They wanted a strong female lead. They could do Gwen Stacy. They could have done
Gwen Stacy, Mary J.
Yeah, they could. They
Black Cat. I can sit here and list female strong characters. They could follow Aunt May through her entire life.
Yeah,
and have been perfectly fine. But it's just the fact that then they did this thing we're like, that's not even what she looks like normally. Like it's like her mask doesn't even cover any of her face whatsoever. What's the point of wearing a mask?
Man, so here's the deal with this movie. One, it's 2 hours long, which means it's 2 hours too long. I have nothing good to say about this movie. You said it was unnecessary. I think it's actually fucking poisonous. Like, there are movies that come and go and they float in their mind and they float away. Mm-hmm. This one is actively terrible. It poisons your mind for being there. So the thing about Madam Web is that I like these actors, but they are. I
like these actors. I like the people in it. I like the idea of a Madam Web movie.
But the acting is terrible. Like, I don't know.
Oh my God. Everybody phoned it in. Everybody phoned
it in.
And
they have things that don't fucking make sense. Like, who dances on a table? Who the fuck does that?
At a diner.
Who the fuck does that? And also like,
unless you're drunk at Waffle House at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Something fucking wrong with the script in this one. Like almost nothing makes sense. There's potholes I could drive a truck through, and how did they make the lead so?
Detroit has puddles. You can.
So, dude, how did they make the lead so unlikable? Like who was rooting for Cassandra Webbins? I wasn't. I was, man. I was so glad there were no post credits. Like, I was so happy. So I couldn't wait to get out of this fucking train wreck movie. It's fucking boring for one. I didn't like any of it. And the who was sitting me were fucking stupid.
They ruined everything. Like, okay, Ben Parker is who's played by Adam Scott, right?
Yeah.
They make it very clear that's Ben Parker and that he's dating some girl.
And the only thing I kind of liked about the movie was just him in it.
Adam Scott. Like, Adam Scott was a savior in all this shit. But why? Aunt May and Uncle Ben are supposed to have been married since like high school.
Yeah.
They would have been, at the time of when this movie is, they should have been well into their 40s or 50s because they're in their 70s. Or should be in their 60s or 70s, like
they're trying to fit it into the where he, like, because Ben says I met someone that's going well, so they're talking about Mr. Marissa Tomei, like that Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know exactly what they're doing, man. But at the same time, this is the problem. Sony, you don't own Spider-Man anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You own Spider-Man, yeah. Yes, in name, in rights, or whatever. But the moment you put that son bitch in Captain America's Civil War, from that moment on, he was part of the MCU. The MCU owns Spider-Man. And why don't you just go all in on your Venom and your other good movies like that, and just make them good movies?
My favorite thing is that two of the writers for this wrote Morbius, and that explains almost everything about it. And also, I've never seen so much blatant product placement as Pepsi in this movie. There was a scene every time you saw the can, the label was facing the camera. Yes, for like a good 5 minutes of this movie.
Did I put it in here? Give me a second. Okay. I didn't read all the. I can't remember some of the facts I put in there and some of the facts I didn't in there.
It was so fucking stupid.
There was one part where the Pepsi neon on top of a building, the
fireworks factory.
Yeah, like it was dumb, man. I mean, like, this movie,
it sucks, dude. This movie's awful.
I love a good bad comic book movie.
This is not one of those, though.
Yeah,
this isn't Batman Returns, Batman and Robin,
Fantastic Four, 1990 Captain America.
This isn't Batman and Robin. This is just terrible. Like,
this ain't Ben Affleck Daredevil. This is like, I mean, at least in that one, you got some new metal music.
Yeah, you got some actually engaging action scenes. What's this? Has people just running away the whole time?
Yes, and it was just like, I tried so hard. I tried so hard to like something in this movie.
I want to ask you a question about Ezekiel Sims. Like, what the fuck is he? Just a wooden plank of a character? It seemed like his voice was fucking ridiculous. I seriously thought it was ADR, like Giallo type shit with his voice, because it didn't make sense the way things he was saying, and the like. Where did he get his money? He has also. I want to mention fucking Dakota Johnson's apartment in New York is spacious and beautiful. She's a paramedic. Paramedics make shit money. So like, where did you get this wonderful apartment? And I don't understand most of what happened this week. Not because it's confusing. No, because it's fucking terrible.
And how they without spoiling it, don't say how, but like at one point, Cassandra Webb, Madam Webb, gets blinded, and how they blind her is just like really
right, and like, and I have problems with that too.
because Madam Webb is blind.
Yeah,
she's always blind in the series, everything she's ever been in, and none of these characters really had standalone comic books either. None of these, which I'm very supportive of an all-women cast.
Yeah, me too.
I am very supportive of an all-women Spider-Man. I am very supportive of this. But guess what, guys? This was not it. You guys just... I don't even know. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know what the hell I just watched. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get, like, how a movie could have been just so bad. Like in so many areas,
and the acting was stilted. It's very seen blue screen. You can tell that it was green screen in some of the biggest fights. And Dakota Johnson, man. Like I don't know. Like they thought they were getting an MCU movie, and then they realized, oh no, this is Sony. This is not what you think it is. And they're like, oh no, I don't know if it's directing. To me, I would have seen problems with the fucking script if they handed it to me. They're like, "Hey, this is what we made." And you're like, "This is what I'm gonna film." No,
dude, no. And originally, if you saw the first fact I have, originally it was about Ezekiel Sims trying to kill Mary Parker so that Peter Parker never exists.
That's like a
that was the original story. That was the original story.
That was better than what this is. That would have been better than what this
then Madam Web would have been just Madam Web without this whole backstory. And Madam Web, I don't think... Okay, Madam Web is like the Joker. Yeah. I don't need to know her backstory. I don't need to know where she grew up. I don't need to know all that shit. Him being dropped in the chemicals, bleaching his skin white, that's as much as I need. I don't need to know... what happened as a wee little lad.
Yeah, there's so many things that don't make sense in this movie. Like, and decisions. Why were they there? Sort of like things that like. Okay, it reminded me a lot of. Okay, so you remember the Tobey Maguire Superman movies? They were okay, right? But they're not near as good as the ones that were made with Tom Holland.
No, because they actually went for some stories and they actually.
Yeah. And this feels like this was made during that time because the CGI CGI is kind of terrible too.
Oh, I heard this in a review. Really? This movie is based in 2002, and it felt like it was made there too. And it's like, and it goes, not in the good way. Like,
no, but that's what it feels like to me. It feels like it was made during those times the Super movies were being made, and not saying those movies are bad because they're not. But they weren't as good as the new ones are now, and it's like they're going back to a time that I'd rather forget when it came to superhero movies, like because we didn't really get a good one superhero movie till Iron Man came out in 2003.
Oh, no, yeah.
Okay.
Really? So you're gonna tell me Christopher Reeve's Superman sucked?
You know what I'm talking about. There was an era. In the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mid-90s, early 2000s. So when they tried it, because Blade did well, and Fantastic Four did good, and what was the other one that did good? And there's another movie.
I'm asking, those were fine movies, but what was a great movie? It was Iron Man, right? And it started that whole renaissance of
2008.
Yeah.
That didn't come out until 2008.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
No, it came out before that. I can read it to you. Iron Man 2 came out like in 2008, maybe.
2008.
Okay, I'm wrong. Right, but 2008 is.
I remember it was 2008 because I moved to Kansas City. I was already living in Kansas City.
So your life had to change that day because Iron Man was great, and that's when we had a really good slate of Marvel movies coming out, really good ones. Like until then, but then we have what we are now with Madam Web, which is Sony fucked it up like big time.
Yeah, it's like, look, guys, look. Yes, we are nerds and we're going to eat up anything comic book that you throw at us. But guess what, man? We're going to chew it back and spit it at you if it sucks.
And this sucks.
And we did that for years. And that's why you couldn't make money at the box office. It was because, like, you'd make Rise of the Silver Surfer, Blade Trinity. I can't think of all. Punisher Warzone. I'm trying to think. Punisher with Thomas Jane and John Travolta. God, that movie sucked. It's like you got the Punisher acting like he's burning someone's flesh by putting a popsicle on him. Like, really? That's your version of the Punisher, huh?
So I'm trying to figure out, like, what the thing is that it doesn't make sense that this movie exists. It's actively terrible. I don't feel like actually liking this movie. It is like children. I think like
maybe kids, maybe kids.
But it's pretty bad. It's not a good movie. It's not even. Right. It's not even good. Like a good clean to have silly fun. 'Cause it's not silly either. It's just stupid.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, let me give my number. You give your number, and then we'll move on to the little spoilers I have.
Okay.
Of stuff that was in the movie that I thought was fun. So we'll talk about that here in a second. All right. Okay. So my score for this movie is going to give it a 2.6.
You're not going to 2.5?
No, I'm going to go one more, and the only reason why. There's only one reason why. Adam Scott, I would love to see his scenes again. Besides that, I don't care about the rest of them. I just want to see the shit Adam Scott says again.
Okay. My score on this is 2.
That's it.
Okay, my score is 2.2 on this one. It's terrible.
Yeah.
This
Whoa,
is. Yeah.
I think I just figured something out, Beavis. What? This sucks.
No, you know what? I'll go 2.5. I'll give it the STD.
This movie fucking sucks, dude.
It sucks.
I never want to see this shit ever again. I'm upset that I saw it. I really am.
And I'm upset that everybody took part in it, and I'm upset that anybody had anything to do with it. I hope everybody got paid well at some way, and nobody took points, and they all took it. Like, literally.
So, Neil, what is the audience score for Madam Web and RottenTomatoes.com?
27%.
56%. Too high. Too high. All right.
Way too high.
Madam Web. And then I want to read. There's not even a critics' consensus on this, but there are 200 reviews in the critics. What is the critics' score on this one?
21%.
13%.
Damn,
this is lower than Morbius. I think Morbius is 15 or 14. No, this is a terrible movie, and like I knew it would be bad. Just when I seen the previews, I knew it would be bad. But I'll read a good review and then a bad review. Okay. Okay, a good review. This is from and it's hard to find those because a lot of them are like, that's not a good review. You know, like, okay, this is from Alonso Duralde, the film critic. He says, isn't going to reverse the ongoing decline of superhero cinema, but unlike some of its notable contemporaries, it's strong enough to make its intended sequels feel like promises rather than threats. Okay? I hope I never see anything about this. It dies of obscurity.
I never want to see this movie ever again. We will talk a little bit more about it here in the spoiler section, but the spoiler section is just going to be some cool things I found here.
Okay, so this is from this is from David Sims of The Atlantic. He goes, almost admire the sheer lack of effort in displaying the acting, storytelling, and set pieces. Say that Johnson in particular phoned this performance in would be an insult to Alexander Graham Bell. So yeah, this is Madam Web. If you guys want to waste your fucking money, go see Madam Web in theaters or just let it die in obscurity because I'm tired of it being around. So, but we do have a few spoilers about the movie, a few little things that are kind of cool that we're going to talk about. But yeah,
we will definitely just do a little spoiler part here. It's not going to be huge. It's not going to be big. I mean, just like she said.
And also, but yeah, I'll play the music, outro music. After that's done with, we'll come in with the spoilers and win the show. But here if you guys really don't want to hear spoilers from Madam Web, you guys can turn it off now. We'll see you next week. But here.
Well, that's a new episode of Movies Don't Suck and Something to Do. I'm going to tell you now all about the spoilers about a shitty movie that we don't really like.
All right, Neil, lay down me. Give me the.
Oh my God! They just came out with a new Danhausen shirt, and I want it.
Neil,
I want it so bad.
Let's get.
I'm supposed to talk about this.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. All right. I'll talk about a movie. What movie am I talking about?
We're talking about Madam Web.
Madam Web. I'm pulling everything up right now. Give me a second. You took too long. Here. All right. So. Yeah, sure.
No, that's not the shirt. We're not talking about that. But go ahead.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Look at Danhausen shirt.
I see it.
Anyway, the powers of Spider-Man got added lore to this at this time. First witness to the wider lore of Spider-Man is a major change from the Marvel Comics. The film opens with Cassandra Webb's mother looking for a spider after betrayed by Shock, and is rescued by the mythic Spider People, which was a thing in the comics. But when the Madam Web added and stuff like that. When Madam Web even joined into like the Spider-Man, the cartoon from the 1990s, the 94 one, it just gets really confusing. Anything to do with Madam Web.
Yeah.
She's kind of like the one that's just like, hey, I'm here. It's like, you ever watch Star Trek The Next Generation?
Yeah, sure.
You know Q?
Yeah.
Remember Q? Every time he comes around, something fucky happens. Like all of a sudden now they're in Sherwood Forest, acting like the Robin Hood and shit like that. That's what Madam Web is to the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I don't need to know about her. Like Q, I don't need to know more about Q. He shows up, shit goes weird. I get it.
Yeah.
I get the concept.
Yeah.
And that's why I did. Of course, they make references to Aunt May. We talked about that earlier, that Ben Parker was talking about, played by Adam Scott.
Yeah, this is obviously supposed to be like a prequel to Superman, Tom Holland Superman. And yeah.
Tom Holland Spider-Man. We're talking Spider-Man.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
Sorry. It's late.
And she visits the baby shower of Mary Parker, who is Peter Parker's mom.
Yeah.
Madam Web. There's a lot of web patterns everywhere, I guess, but
fuck.
They do a Hulk reference at one point when it's like, you wouldn't like me when I'm hangry.
Isn't it twice in the movie? Like, we're supposed to laugh. Like, who gives a fuck?
It's so bad. Yeah. It's so bad. Madam Web changes Spider-Man's iconic words. Instead of with great power comes great responsibility. It says, takes on the responsibility, great power will come. How do you fuck up those words? Why mess them up? Why move them around?
There's so many snorable scenes in this. Like, it's just so.
Oh my God! The Pepsi sign that defeats Ezekiel nods to Spider-Man. Okay, that's how I got it backwards. The S and the P of the Pepsi Cola neon sign dropped and killed him, which S and P is Spider-Man. Peter Parker.
Oh, I want to mention something about the so I guess when Cassandra falls in the water, that makes her paralyzed, right? And then when they bring her out of the water, you see that the fireworks hit her face. But she opens her eyes, like, there's no, like burn marks or anything on her face. Yeah. It's just her eyes are just, like, cataracts. You know, like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, what happened? Did that water do that to you? Because I would expect some sort of, peeling skin. No, it just didn't make any sense. But anyway, go ahead.
Also, let's see. The 4-star diner that they went to is actually a Peter Parker hangout. And
did he dance on tables, too? Because that would still make no sense to me.
But it used to be one of his hangouts back in the day. Spider-Man's mother makes appearance, which we saw that with Mary Margaret. And Jonah in name drops. Maddie says that she's going to call her Uncle Jonah, which is Jonah J. Jameson, as you know. And if you don't know, I don't even want to go through all this. Yes. Madam Web was introduced in November 1980. Amazing Spider-Man 200. Spider-Woman or Sydney Sweeney as Julia Carpenter was introduced in 2010. Amazing Spider-Man 231. Let's see. Khaleesi O'Connor was introduced in 1998 in the spectacular Spider-Man 262. And Isabella as Anna Corzin Arana Spider-Girl was introduced in 2004. And the Totem Spider-Man, this is what I don't get. Ezekiel Zim is a completely different comic book character than the movie guy.
Yeah.
And the movie guy is basically like the Spider Totem with similar powers to like Spider-Man, which this totem only gave you certain abilities that were kind of like Spider-Man. Man, they just fucked this all up, man.
Yeah. And like, I hated the villain in this too. Like, it just hurts talking about. I'm glad this is over. I'm glad it's done. I'm glad I don't have to think about this movie again after this episode. Really.
I always want to think about this movie constantly.
So are we good with facts? Are you ready just to get out of here? And
you know what? To be honest, I wanted to do more. I did put in a couple hours time in it, and it's like at some point, okay, about an hour time, and then I was like, why? I don't care that much anymore. But literally, if you have any questions, I have all the answers. But to be honest, this is one of those movies that I have no idea why all the characters were completely different than everything that's ever been presented by any of the fucking movie or any comic book whatsoever. None of it makes sense. None of it makes me happy. I just don't want this movie to ever exist again. I'm done with it.
But you know what does make us happy?
What?
Go hang out with our wives. So let's go do that.
Yeah. Or I will fuck you. That always makes me happy.
You can find us on movies.suck.net. We're w2m.com. That's w2m.net.com. You'll find us there along with a bunch of other cool podcasts. We're on Instagram, MGS Podcast. We're on X, MGS Podcast. Go to patreon.com/movies.suck. You guys want to subscribe and be really, really nice to us. Go to patreon.com/movies.suck Sunday. You'll find merch that we made. If you're watching this YouTube, subscribe, watch this video, like that page. And if you're listening to this on a podcast app, go to that subscribe button so it's delivered to you every time it's ready. You don't have to do anything. It just goes straight to you. Neil, what do you do for small businesses?
If you're a small business, let us know. So we'll be more than happy to promote your business right here on our podcast. There are thousands of listeners, or millions of followers right here on Movies Don't Suck and Some to Do.
All right. Yeah. You get ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm ready to get out of here. Let's do it, buddy. That's another episode of Movies Don't Suck and Some Do. My name's Neil.
I'm Chris.
And remember, guys, no matter how hard it looks to make a movie, you can't make things worse than Madam Web. Have a good night.